constant question is if we are live. Yes, we are live. Great. Welcome to a gloomy afternoon in Tokyo. I am here in where am I? I am near Kanda station on a gloomy night, or not really night, gloomy afternoon, and it will get dark soon. And I thought, why not go for a little walk before I head back home? So the plan tonight is to walk from Kanda, where I am now, down to the Ginza area, which we should be able to hit in time for the nice colors and lights when the sun has set. So yeah, welcome and let's go. Come on, T, put down the Sapporo and let's go. No Sapporo yet. No beer yet. I just had dinner actually. I had some udon for dinner tonight. Alone. Just at a nearby cheap udon restaurant. But yeah, I had some errands in town today, so that's why I'm here. Kanda Jinbocho. そうかな。神田だけかなよくわかんない。神保町の方ではないですね。ここは JR 神田駅の近いです。そうですね。Yeah, today some of you got treated to 2 videos depending on your time zone. As I posted a 4K video of Enoshima this morning, Japan time. So it's kind of rare for me to post 2 videos in the same day, but there's a slight risk that there won't be any video tomorrow, Friday, because the weather is supposed to be quite awful tomorrow. So yeah, think of this as a little bonus stream ahead of the stream that won't happen tomorrow, or something like that. I was actually planning on recording another 4K video and post tomorrow instead, but I don't know, since I didn't stream today, I kind of missed the social aspect of streaming and decided to do a little stream now instead. Also, since the weather is so yeah, I don't know. Mostly just because I wanted to hang out with you, my dear viewers. And I hope you enjoyed the Enoshima stream that or Enoshima video that I posted this morning. It's doing quite well in terms of the YouTube stats, so that's a good sign. I'm quite happy with that video, and I hope you are as well. The Japanese people. Could Japanese people tell that you have a foreign accent when speaking Japanese? I'm pretty sure they can, yeah. But I do quite often get compliments for my accent, actually. I don't know, I think for us Swedish people, the Japanese pronunciation is not that terribly difficult in most cases. But I don't know. I don't want to sound too cocky, but I think it's always very obvious when American people speak Japanese. They always have a very strong American accent. I don't think that we Swedish people have such a strong accent when we speak Japanese. But then on the other hand, we have a very strong accent when we speak English. So and yeah, as you can see, it's a bit gloomy today, and tomorrow it's gonna rain. Basically a couple of hours from now it's supposed to start raining, and that rain is gonna last until the day after tomorrow. So yeah. Weather check, yes, of course. Weather check. is 23 degrees, mostly cloudy, almost sunsets, humidity 58%, chance of rain 50%, wind, air pressure, all that nice data there for you to enjoy if you want it. Yeah, it's a very comfortable walking temperature, definitely. I'm thinking which route to take, if I should go down this way. Yeah, I think I will pass here, past the station area. Already almost 200 people tuning in. Great, welcome all of you.どうやって撮影してるの？日本だと撮影しにくなくないですか？ちょっと質問わかりません。普段でスマホで撮ってます。結構シンプルなセットアップですけど。そうですね、これは神田です。So this is Kanda station here. Kanda station, JR. 3 different JR line stops here. And then there's also a Ginza line subway stop very nearby. And I always enjoy this old school neon sign. It's one of the nicer ones around here, I would say. Yeah, Yamanote line does not... Oh wait, no, Yamanote line stops here. Yes, Yamanote line and Chuo line and maybe Keihin Toku line? I think Keihin Toku line as well. Lots of bars and restaurants and izakaya in this neighborhood. Right now it's kind of quiet because of the state of emergency, I guess. But yeah, this is a pretty vibrant part of town. Plenty of somewhat shady establishments around here as well. And I think down here we have the main Shotengai or shopping street. Yes. Nishiguchi Shotengai. Down here, lots of people. I won't be going this way. I think I will be heading this direction instead, towards Otemachi and Ginza. Already a pretty active chat. Sorry if I'm not able to stay updated with everything you say. Question: did your wife's parents accept you easily as a foreigner? Yeah, they had no problems with that at all. No problems at all. I think I will head under this bridge and down here and then turn right towards Ginza direction. If I tried Maid Cafe, I've been a couple of times, yeah. Pretty much always for work though. I've been photographing articles about maid cafes. But when my brother was here in Japan, he loves maid cafes. He's such a otaku. He went to maid cafe many times, and I joined him a few times. Oh, let's go down here. Wow, this is a very dark little alley under the tracks. Your mobile video is outstanding. Thank you, Singapore Dan. Oh, nice little coffee shop here. Didn't know that. See, that's why you need to explore. That's how you find all the good stops, good space places. This looks like a lively little watering hole.ここから銀座まではどのぐらいかかるんだろうね。30分ぐらい I think it will take about half an hour to walk to Ginza from here. Maybe a little bit longer. Not sure. Depends on the route I take. And also if I get lost. Oh yes. The brat says, my brother is such an otaku. He loves everything that's geeky and from Japan. He doesn't live here though, he lives in Sweden. But he's come visit me 3 times throughout the years. And was supposed to come here last year, but obviously because of everything that happened, we had to cancel that trip. Why doesn't anywhere wear sunglasses? Well, it's not sunny. So that's probably why. So I never shoot, or very rarely shoot, inside shops or restaurants and bars. Because basically you need permission in order to do so. So yeah, I usually don't do that. I think I need to check a map actually. I'm not exactly sure which route to take today. So maybe towards Shin Nihonbashi station, which is to the left down here. Then I can turn right and walk down on the main street. I think I'll do that. Love your video of Enoshima. Thank you, Spike Live. Thank you so much. Happy to hear that you enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that one too. And I'm also happy with these cones, because I know that those make Ray very happy. How much time do I have? I think tonight's stream will be about an hour or so in length. So I'm not in a rush or anything, but yeah, it also takes me quite some while to get home, so I don't want to get home too late. Jenny, I'll get some, I promise. I will get them after this stream. Or maybe tomorrow at our local florist. Maybe that's easier than having to carry them on the train all the way back home. But I will get her flowers from you to her. I will tell her that one of my most loyal YouTube supporters wanted me to buy her some flowers. I'm sure she will be very happy. Atsuku nai desu ka? Atsuku nai desu. 今はちょうどいい気温。全然暑くない。Pros and cons marrying or dating a Japanese girl. I prefer to think of people as individuals, and I would say that there are lots of variations among Japanese girls, so it's not really something I can generalize very easily. Ah yeah, now we're at the backside of Nihonbashi, I think. This is probably Takashimaya, kana? I think it is. So yeah, let's go down this way. By the way, this is a very old building. Not sure what it is. If there's anything after so many years you still haven't gotten used to. Interesting question. Can't really think of anything off the top of my head. I mean, after all, I spent most of my adult life here. So, and after 13 years, you get pretty used to how things work. So, no, not really. I definitely feel more like reverse culture shocks whenever I go back to Sweden compared to here. Oh, okay. Was that the Bank of Japan building? That old one? I guess so. Yeah, we are here. So it must have been this one, the old one, Bank of Japan. I didn't know that. Huh, interesting. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, so I will head down Chuodori, past Nihonbashi, maybe do a detour somewhere on some of these streets, but mainly heading towards Ginza from here, which is just basically down this street. Chuo Avenue. Yeah, this is after all one of the fancier and more vivid streets in Tokyo, I would say. 本銀行か。そうですね、そうみたい。知らなかった。あんなに古い建物で日本銀行がある。でもちょっとかっこいい。Lots of really fancy department stores around here. Mitsukoshi and Takashimaya and whatnot. Oh wait, I think, is this where there's a shrine? Yeah, I think it's down here. Let's go there. Let's cross the street here and go to the little shrine down there, as it's quite nice. So let's cross here before it turns red. So, let's see what he's saying. Tentoはない方がいいですね。僕もそう思いますね。テントがあると結構なんかめちゃくちゃなイメージですね。めちゃくちゃな雰囲気。テントがないともっとなんかすっきり綺麗な雰囲気。So yeah, here in the middle of all these modern high-rise buildings, there's also this nice little shrine. Yes, people, if you enjoyed this video, please press the like button. Also, not a single super chat yet. What's up with that? What's up with that? How am I going to afford a beer? Melody Matilda, great. Good to see you here again. And thank you, Yari. You're always very quick at clicking the like button. I really appreciate that. Biggest crimes? Oh, there's plenty of crimes. I mean, everything is relative, but there are crimes happening in Japan. There's like murders, and one of the biggest things that happened recently was the arson attack at Kyoto Anime last year. Was that? But there's some pretty horrible things happening in this country also. It's not all super safe everyday everything, but in everyday life most people I know who live here feel very safe. Most feel safer here than in their home countries, but that doesn't mean that Japan is perfect. There's still crime happening, so yeah. Thank you, George. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Ooh, very windy here. I hope my windshields are doing a good job now. Beer Flock Fund, Jenny, thank you. It could be a beer fund, it could be flowers for your wife fund. Thank you, George. Thank you, George. This is a nice little street. Nihonbashi Dashi Bar. So it's a bar that specializes in dashi, which is basically Japanese, how do you say, Japanese broth or Japanese soup. Interesting. I should check out this place sometime. Really? No wind noise? Wow, that's really impressive. Because that's, I don't know, you can see the trees. It is, I mean, it's quite windy. So if my little DIY windshield manages to block out all the wind noise, then I did a pretty good job, I must say. Ah, Mikael Eideholm, yay, my mega supporter. Thank you, always, for your generous support to the flowers. We are approaching Nihonbashi, which is down there. People are saying Shinjuku is clean. This area is even cleaner. Oh yeah, for sure. I wouldn't say Shinjuku is clean. I would say Shinjuku is probably one of the dirtier areas in Tokyo. At least of the main neighborhoods. Shinjuku and Shibuya aren't particularly clean. But here and Ginza, that's clean. That's clean. That's definitely way more clean than Shinjuku and Shibuya. Have enough data? Yes, I have unlimited data. Thank you, Garfield, for whatever, both beer and flower. Thank you so much, Garfield. Thank you, thank you. I think this is Mitsukoshima station still. Okay. Nihonbashi station is a little bit further down then. Yeah, lots of nice side streets around here. Next 4K video better be Mrs. Explorer getting flowers. Haha. I don't think she wants to be on camera. This is a very narrow little subway entrance exit. Kind of like the contrast between the warm colors and the cold light of the outside. yeah, we are approaching Nihonbashi. It's the bridge over here, which Nihonbashi is like the geographical midpoint of Tokyo. So whenever you see signs telling you how many kilometers you have left until you reach Tokyo, like when you're driving around the country or whatever, then it's usually the center point is this bridge, Nihonbashi. あ、たけしさんありがとうございます。いつもありがとうございます。銀座、日本で一番なんていう西大鉄器かな。どういう意味ですか？ Like Western? Westernized? すいません、ちょっとその言葉ちょっと意味わかりません。The overhead highway over Nihonbashi will be removed and go underground. Oh, really? Wow, that's well needed. It's such a shame that this important and historical spot is covered by a highway. So, pretty good to hear that it will be removed, but that must be a pretty big construction project. Because where are they gonna put it? Like under the river? Or how are they gonna do this?ヨーロッパのような感じ、雰囲気。そうかな？わかんないですね。僕にとってはなんか銀座はなんかやっぱり日本らしいなんか東京の感じですけど、まあちょっと多分ちょっとヨーロッパ風の建物ちょっとあるかな。その有名なクロックタワーとか。So this, I always, like whenever I come here, I always want to snap a photo of this bridge and this lamp, but it's always, there's just something with it, like it's such an imbalanced spot, like it's impossible to get a good photo here, if you ask me. It's like it should be, it has all the elements it needs for some nice street photographs, but there's just not something with the balance that makes it a bit off. But yeah, Nihonbashi, this is the midpoint of Tokyo. Even though, like, if you look at a map, it's definitely not in the middle of Tokyo. It's pretty far in the east of Tokyo, because Tokyo is a very oblong city, but anyway. Wow, almost 500 people watching now. So many. Let's see. What is one thing, aside from awesome public transport, that you think Japan does amazingly and that other countries should adopt? I think other cities could definitely learn on how to build like a safe city, safe community, and also other cities could definitely learn from the level of service that you get here in Tokyo. But I don't know if that's a Tokyo thing or more like a Japan thing, though. It's a little bit a little bit difficult to say, but yeah, the fact that Tokyo is, the biggest metropolitan region in the world with so many people, like 30-something million people living in the greater Tokyo region, yet it just works. Like, that is pretty awesome and pretty amazing. And I think a lot of cities could and should learn from Tokyo in that respect. getting darker. Colors are getting nicer. And let me see, what else do you say?そうですね、ヨーロッパは高い建物がないですね。まあ、街によってあるけど、ロンドンとかあるんですけど、僕に住んでたスウェーデンとかドイツも高い建物ほとんどないですね。それは多分一番大きな違いですね。日本に来た前にこういう景色とかこういう街並みは見たことなかったですね。それはすごくなんていう日本のなんていうまあちょっと特別なポイントですね。So one of my Japanese viewers, we were talking a little bit about if Ginza feels Western or European, and I don't think so, because we don't have this kind of cityscape anywhere in at least in Europe where I've been. There's no the amount and density of high-rise buildings like we have here. It's just, there's nowhere in Sweden like this. There's definitely nothing that even comes remotely close. So to me, the vibe in Ginza is definitely more Japanese than Western. So sorry, lots of questions in the chat. How long do you plan to stream? I think today's stream will be somewhere between 1 hour and 1.5. I've been going for almost 40 minutes by now, soそうですね、日本人にとっても東京は特別な場所ですね。もちろんそれはそうですね。Wilson, thank you so much, Wilson Young, for your super chat. Ginza equals Kokyu. Yes, Ginza is a very luxury neighborhood. So as you will see once we get closer to Ginza, it's basically only super expensive luxury brands that can afford to have shops on the main streets. But we're still quite far away from Ginza actually. Now we're in the Nihonbashi district, and then we will reach the Kyobashi district. It's a bit of a walk. Down here is the Tokyo Station area. Actually, should we go down here? Nah. It's only this little street that is nice with the trees. I feel I passed here on a stream not too long ago. Oh yeah, that time when I walked down this way, didn't I? And we ended up in some random little park somewhere. Oh, thank you, Tara Cody. Thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you, Rockaway Siren. Wow, suddenly everybody became very generous. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, this area is great for night photography. Like right now, I kind of want to finish the stream and just take photos instead, because especially at this time of the day, it's really one of my favorite areas to take photos in. That's Tokyo Station down there, by the way. Rent must be astronomical in Ginza. Yes, indeed they are. I don't know how astronomical, but I think it's some of the most expensive real estate in the entire world. Ginza. It definitely was the most expensive in the world back in the bubble era, but since then the Japanese economy has kind of stagnated somewhat. So, but I still think that Ginza definitely belongs to some of the most expensive land in the world. Yeah, let's cross here.僕は Reddit あんまり使ってないですね。Reddit でもライブ配信できますか？知らなかった。Someone asked if I ever live stream on Reddit, but I didn't even know that you could live stream on Reddit. Or maybe I misunderstood the question. Did you bring your camera? No, I didn't bring it. Only my phone. But to be honest, I'm really impressed with the camera in both this, in my iPhone, and also in this Samsung that I'm using to stream. They're both really, really good for night photography. So almost feel that we're at the point now where I don't really need a compact camera. I mean, it's still, of course, I still need a full frame camera for my professional work, but for like almost everything else, smartphones are really so good now, especially with all this computational photography that regular cameras doesn't have. So I think in this kind of light, I would almost say that smartphones are better than compact cameras. They're not better than full frame cameras, but yeah, better than compact cameras. Yeah, I'm sure it's just, I don't think we reached the top yet. I'm sure it's gonna get even better and better. And a few years from now, I mean, to most people, I would say smartphones are the only camera they really need these days. Yeah, Michael, you're asking if it's on par with my Ricoh GR3, and I would say so, yeah. Because the thing with the Ricoh is like, it has a stabilized lens, but it doesn't have any computational photography. So I can only use relatively short shutter speeds. But with a smartphone, I can do like seconds of exposure and get sharp photos. And those actually have, in many cases, more detail than what I would get from my Ricoh. Yeah, that's especially true if I don't want to edit the photos. If I just want to use them right away with no editing, then I think smartphones are great. Only real point that a compact wins on is optical zoom. I don't really agree with that, to be honest, because compacts with optical zooms, yeah, sure, if you're shooting in broad daylight, it's great, but usually the zoom lenses in compact cameras, like if they have zooms, it means that they are not very good at capturing light. So yeah, I definitely don't really like compact cameras with zoom lenses. I prefer fixed lenses, especially when it comes to compact cameras. Zoom lenses can be good if you're talking about full frame mirrorless cameras and lenses that cost like $2,000 or more. Then the zooms can be pretty good, but cheaper zooms, I'm quite reluctant to those. But of course, it really depends on what you're shooting and your shooting style and many other factors. But for my shooting style and the fact that I do a lot of night and low light photography, yeah, that kind of rules out zoom lenses in most circumstances. And some of you don't even know what I'm talking about. I know, sorry. I get so geeky when I talk about cameras. I'm sure lots of you can't follow the talk. I will try to avoid that. This is Kyobashi, which is the neighborhood between Nihonbashi and Ginza. I think once we pass that next bridge over here, then we're technically in Ginza. Oh, hey, yes, long time no see. Yeah, smartphone cameras have constant software upgrades. That's a pretty big factor too. That is definitely a big factor. Yeah, Michael Samira. Well, I mean, if you're shooting in good light and if you have like a sharp, well-exposed photo on the GR, it's gonna be better than a smartphone photo. But if you're shooting in low light like this, then you are probably much more likely to get a sharp, well-exposed photo if you shoot it with a smartphone, a modern smartphone, than with the GR. Dumb it down. Well, basically the point in all this camera talk is that smartphone cameras are really good these days, and especially for night photography. They're often, in many cases, better than real cameras, if you get what I mean. Do they have the Suica card app for iOS? Yeah, I think so. I know that you can use Suica. Like if you need to have an iPhone that's bought in Japan, because only those have the chip that's compatible with the Suica system. So for those of you who don't know what Suica is, that's like one of the most well-used contactless payment systems here in Japan. It started as a way to pay for your train tickets, but now you can use Suica almost everywhere. So only iPhones that you buy in Japan has the hardware needed to use Suica. But then I think Suica is supported via Apple Pay. I actually don't use it on my iPhone, but I can. I could if I wanted to. But since I'm juggling phones and switching phones all the time, it's just easier to keep that for my easier to keep the physical Suica card in my wallet. What else are you saying? Yes, Michael Smear. I mean, the GR is great. It's a great camera. I really like it, but I don't really see that much need for it anymore, personally. Like when I really need good image quality, I take my big camera, and for pretty much everything else, the smartphone is good enough. I think you can get the Suica app to work with a phone, but I don't think that you would be able to use it to actually pay. But I'm not sure, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's maybe it's the same version of the iPhone sold in Singapore and Japan. That could be the case. Maybe it's like an Asian version. But I know that the European smart iPhones definitely don't work with Suica. And probably pretty sure it's the same with the American ones. So now we are in Ginza.あ、そうですか。海酒酎ハイ。外国の iPhone は今日本のスイカ使える。そっか。知らなかった。So according to one of my Japanese viewers, what I was saying was wrong. Maybe he says that these days non-Japanese iPhones also work with Suica. So my bad. My bad if I was wrong. But it used to be different. そっか、それいつからですか？ iPhone 12だけ？妻がヨーロッパで iPhone 11買ったんですけど、それは日本のスイカ対応してないみたいですけど。So, getting closer and closer to the epicenter of Ginza. It still feels a bit like we're at the edge, outskirts of Ginza. That looked like an expensive car. Ginza used to be crowded, yeah. Ginza is still pretty crowded. I think you will see that once we get closer to Ginza station. I do think it will still be relatively crowded.そうですね、国内モデルじゃないとスイカ対応してなさそう。そう、僕もそう思いました。でも他のビューアーはそんなことないって言われました。We're still talking about this Suica, if non-Japanese iPhone support Suica or not. I don't know. I am getting mixed messages from my Japanese viewers. I'm a big fan of this facade. It's pretty cool. Like it's I don't know, it doesn't look like just a random LED screen on the wall. It looks like, I don't know, it has a pretty unique look to it. I don't know if it transfers well into the video, but it's pretty cool. You need a lot of super chats to afford that supercar. Yeah. So please, can we start a supercar fund? If I get enough money to buy a supercar, I promise you I'll get a driver's license so that I can actually use it. What do you say, viewers? Supercar fund, $0. Yeah, right now 0. Maybe I should start a GoFundMe page. But finish work soon. Yay, Redmans, good on you. The new iMacs. It's the first time I see them with my own eyes. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Though not for me. Apple Store 近いでしょう。そうですね。Apple Store が近いです。めっちゃ近いです。Why not? Basically, that new iMac is just a MacBook Air in a nice package, but I don't know. I would much rather have it as a portable computer. If I would buy a desktop computer, I would expect it to have more performance than what it does. Not saying that it's bad, but it's just kind of a bit of a wasted opportunity to buy such an underpowered desktop computer for my needs. But they do look nice, I'll give it that. And it could be nice if we needed a desktop computer in our home, in our living room or something. Then it's not a bad option. And it's powerful for most users, powerful enough for most users, so it's not bad, but yeah. I just felt a little bit disappointed that there wasn't a more high-spec version of it. Snapped some potential thumbnail photos in the middle of the street. So I'm thinking where to go from here. Any requests? For another half an hour or so. Bureau clock, haha. Oh yeah, since some of you like cars, I guess I should show you this. This is the Nissan Showroom. So they have some fancy cars here. I don't know which of these are interesting and whatnot, but test car. Hachobori and Minatoku. Well, it's a little bit. I won't be traveling to any other part of Japan right now, or to Tokyo right now tonight. So I will, if there's anywhere like within walking distance from here. Oslo coffee. Sorry, there's too much talking in the chat. I'm trying to keep focus on what you're saying, but that just makes me a little bit too. I'm struggling to stay focused on what we're having in front of the camera. But here's Ginza 6, which is a pretty cool building. There are many really interesting buildings here in Ginza, actually. We make you confused. Yeah, you do. You do. There's too many of you. You're talking too much. No, I'm just kidding. I love the chat. I love to hear what you have to say. That's why I'm trying to stay up to date with it. You will get kicked out for streaming Ginza 6. I don't know. Maybe not. Most likely not. I could probably get away with it, but I'm not gonna try. It's not just about getting kicked out, but it's also about, I don't know, not being an annoying foreigner. Here we have a map. So someone asked Yurakcho and Shimbashi area, which is a pretty good idea, I think. Give me a moment. Give me a moment to check the chat and the map, and I'll figure out where we will go. Godzilla statue nearby. Yeah, actually that's a good idea. I think I want to do that. I think I want to walk down to Hibiya Midtown. Then we will also pass through a bit of Yurakcho. Let's do that. And then I will end the stream around Hibiya station, I think. That should be pretty good. Maybe there will be a chance to grab a beer somewhere. I just love these kind of back streets and side streets here in Ginza. They are really nice, especially at night. Like now. Or the stores for foreigner, not seeing so much European bling. I don't really understand the question. The stores are for everyone, and there's lots of foreigners shopping here in Ginza as well. Like before the pandemic, I would say Ginza was probably one of the areas in Tokyo with the highest density of non-Japanese people on the street. Always full of tourists. Lots and lots of tourists from China, but also, yeah, from all over the world. Where's the most beautiful place? Oh, that's very difficult to say. There's so many different kinds of beauty, and it really depends. But for night walks like this, I personally think that this part of Tokyo is probably one of the more beautiful ones. But then again, I mean, I also love the back alleys of Nakano and Koenji on nights like this, which have a very, very different vibe. But I can't really say that one is more beautiful than the other, to be honest. Do they have any steakhouse in Ginza? Probably. I don't know. I'm not really a steak person, so I don't really keep track on where there are steakhouses. But I would be surprised if you couldn't get a good steak in Ginza, because you can get pretty much everything here in Ginza in terms of food. So ね、月 月島まで歩けばもんじゃ焼き食べられますね。そうですね、あの辺もいいですね。雰囲気がとってもいいです。でも今日は有楽町と日比谷の方に行って、そこで終了します。Here's the Sony Plaza, where there used to be a Sony flagship building, but it's not around anymore. Instead, they built this little plaza. Ooh, it's super windy. Super windy. Yeah, I really like this building as well in the back, and this facade. I think it's pretty nice. That's the Hermes. I don't know how to pronounce it, but fancy brand flagship store. And here is Tokyo Plaza, which is a relatively new shopping mall. It's like maybe 5 years since they opened or something. I don't know. I think I want to cross diagonally here. So Yurakcho station is down here. So that's where I will go now. Here's some Sanrio themed shop. For those of you who love Hello Kitty, you might want to check this out. Also, let's not stay around the copyrighted music. It's such a pain when you get copyright strikes from, or not copyright strikes, but these copyright warnings from YouTube. Tokyo Plaza Ginza は2016年3月、ちょうど5年前ですね。Have you had many strikes or mutings? No, I mean strike is when you really get in trouble. I never had that happen to me, but I did have the video like any ad revenue from the video going to the copyright holder of the music. That has happened a couple of times. That's usually what happens if there's some copyrighted music playing in the background. And then you can just mute that part, but that muting process can take like almost a day. So, and you lose like a day's worth of ad revenue. So it's not great when that happens. Why is this Shinkansen train still? Oh, there's another Shinkansen passing here. But it's weird to see one that has stopped. They're not supposed to stop here.そうですね、明日大雨ですね。だから明日は多分ライブできないと思います。有楽 structural station here. Let's just circle around the station area a little bit. Maybe the driver went to the restroom, yeah. If that's the case, yeah, at least it's good that he stopped the train before doing so. As opposed to that other Shinkansen driver who just went to the toilet without stopping the train. This area is always so nice to walk around at night. I think we need to go here soon. This is the building. In here you can get the passport. Like Japanese people, when they need to renew their passport, they go here. We need to get a passport for my daughter. She needs her first passport at some point, so then we will go here. We will also get a Japanese passport for her, but that's or a Swedish passport for her, but that's probably gonna maybe wait until we get to Sweden. Pass through the station here to the other side, and then we can start heading down towards Hibiya. So here's another map. We are here now. So main street in Ginza is this one with this orange line. That's the Ginza line. And here's the Imperial Palace and the moat. And here's Hibiya Park. I'm gonna go down here to Hibiya Midtown where the Godzilla statue is located. Here's Tokyo International Forum, but I don't think I will head inside there today. There's really no need for that. So instead I will head down here this way. This big camera is pretty good, by the way. On the basement floor they have a really good camera department with some quite rare and unique cameras that you don't find in most big camera stores. Like they have usually have some medium format cameras in store, for example, which is not so easy to find here in Tokyo. Are book vending machines still a thing in Tokyo? No, I don't think I've ever seen a book vending machine, to be honest. There might be some somewhere, but they're not common at all. Okay, Spike Live, that sounds really delicious. Hope you'll enjoy your lunch. So we need to cross here. Will you pass by the old locomotive? No, that's at Shimbashi, which is another 20 minutes walk this way. I'm not gonna go all the way there. I will end the stream at Hibiya tonight. Sorry about that. Oh wait, kind of like this as well. Have you heard about a guy in a wheelchair open up his own ramen shop? No, I haven't heard that, but I don't know, is that news? Or I would be surprised if there's not a couple of ramen shops run by people in wheelchair, to be honest. But maybe it's not, maybe it's quite unique. I don't know. But no, I haven't heard. Here is a very nice fish izakaya actually. This little anonymous looking door here in the middle. It's run by a Western guy. I think he's British or Irish? Irish or English? Yeah, I don't remember, but yeah. Very, very good fish izakaya. And super reasonable prices as well. Okay, buon appetito, Spike Live. Thanks for stopping by, as always. Sapporo time. Really? You want me to do a beer break? That bad? My viewers will turn me into an alcoholic. No, I think I will skip the beer tonight, actually. This is also a very nice little scenic spot. It's nicer when the restaurant under the tracks is actually in business, but it looks like it's closed right now. Sometimes they have tables outside. How's the humidity now? Oh, it's not humid at all. It's like less than 50%, I think, so it's really comfy. Don't fight it, join the dark side. We'll see. Well, I am a bit thirsty actually. I do kind of want to drink something, but not sure if that should be a beer or if it should be a soft drink on the train on my way back home. Ta en shot. Okej, Mikael Gustafsson. Nej, ingen shot. Möjligen en öl. Yeah, there's a 7-Eleven here, so let's see. Maybe I'll get a beer. I kind of think it would be nice with a beer. After all this walking. How far did we walk today? 17,000 steps? Not too bad. crowded here. Low carb. Okay, we got ourselves a beer. That's a good thing. That is a good thing on a night like this. And they had my favorite, Jonna Jonna Ale, so that's extra bonus for tonight. Yes, it's beer o'clock, so basically the stream will end here. There won't be anything else, anything other than me drinking my beer here on this bench. Then the stream will end. So if you don't want to watch me drink a beer, you can leave now. Oh wait, I did promise to show you the Godzilla statue, so we do have to do that, I guess. It's there. It's a little bit backlit. Hope you can see it. Godzilla Square. Godzilla over there. Let's see, can we actually go up here? I think they changed this place a little bit, yeah. Can we see Godzilla up close and personal? This is actually much bigger than the previous one though. They used to have one which was like I don't know, like a dog-sized Godzilla statue. But this one is quite a bit bigger than the old one. Godzilla. Thank you, Fungus! Yay! Thank you so much. Thank you. Enjoy beer time. Thank you. I will. So they have a little ticket booth here. I guess where you can buy cinema tickets and stuff like that. Anyway, let's see. Where can we sit down and have a somewhat enjoyable view while drinking this beer? Maybe here. No, it's not very comfortable to sit here. It's really windy, but you say that the wind noise is not even coming through. That's very, very impressive. So this is Hibiya Midtown, which is also relatively new, like less than 5 years ago since they opened this, I would say. Drink with Godzilla. Let's see. Guess we can sit here. Guess we can drink here. Yeah. I'll just sit down here for my beer. For my cozy beer time. Here we go. Kanpai, friends, and thanks for joining me on another nice evening walk. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Oh, am I doing another leg reveal? No, not really. No, it's leg reveal time. Just kidding. Oh, great. Hope you can hear me well as I sit here and drink my beer and answer any questions you might have in the chat. Sweden では何かおすすめビールありますか？スウェーデンのビールはまあ今ちょっと流行ってるオムニポロっていうのビールがあるんですけど、日本でも売ってるちょっとクラフトビールっぽい、ちょっとなんか高くてちょっと変わってる味でも結構美味しいです。多分 IKEA でも売ってると思います。Omnipollo. So one of my Japanese viewers asked me if I can recommend some Swedish beer, and yeah, Omnipollo is a Swedish beer, which is quite nice. That I think they sell at IKEA here in Japan, as well as some bars. Percentage, of course. I always forget. This one is 5.5%. This beer, 5.5%. It says here. What shoes are you wearing? I'm wearing these ones. They're Adidas sneaker. Nothing fancy, just random sneakers. But they serve me quite well. I like them a lot. They're very comfortable. Sure, the drinking is okay with the wife. Yeah, she's usually not complaining. I mean, basically these beers I have when I stream, that's basically the only alcohol I drink. So yeah, I think it's not so bad. オムニポロですね。一度飲んでみます。はい。ぜひ飲んでみてください。今度美味しいかどうか教えてください。Mikael Eideholm, 3 hearts extra strong is the best. I see. I didn't even know that beer. Bra lunch idag i sommarskuggan av körsbärsträd Tokyo Explorer live. Ja, härligt, the bitter end. Tack så mycket. Oh, thank you, 9 Daniel 2. Just signed up for Patreon. Looking forward to all the streams and shit. Thank you so much. Yeah, for those of you who are new to my channel, you might be interested in knowing that I have a Patreon page that you can join. The link is in the video description, and if you join me there, you will get access to Patreon only streams, as well as maybe some other perks depending on which tier you pick. So yeah, please check that out. You can also follow me on Instagram. The link is in the video description. What else? Yeah, I think that's all. I will continue drinking my beer. Oh my god, you're from Sweden like me. Yes, jag är svensk ju. Jag är svensk. Did they finally raise the consumption tax? Yeah, that was 2 years ago now, I think. They raised it. First they raised it from 5 to 8%. That was like 5-6 years ago. And then they raised it to 10%, like, yeah, I think 2 years ago now. 1.5 or 2 years ago. Is that Toho Studios across the street? Yeah, maybe it is, yeah. No, that's Toho Screen and Stage. Toho Studios. I think that's a bit in the outskirts of Tokyo, isn't it? Or am I mixing it up with something else? I'm not sure, to be honest. Absolut, jag guidar gärna. Jag gör lite guidade turer och sådär som sidobusiness också faktiskt. Ja, du får gärna kontakta mig om du vill. Du kan hitta min mailadress på kontaktsidan, nej, about-sidan här på YouTube. Eller så kan du messa mig på Instagram. Så kan jag berätta lite mer. Hej Joel, bättre sent än aldrig. Have you ever walked past Toei Studios? I think I did a few weeks ago. I think I did. I think it's not that far from where I live actually. It's in Setagaya. Yeah. When was the last time you were in Disney Sea or Land? Never. I've never been, and I never want to go because I don't like Disney. Or I do like some old Disney movies, but I really feel bad about how ultra super commercialized those things are now, and I don't want to support that. It's Ghibli Studios. No, Ghibli Studios, yeah, that's well, I don't know where the studio is, but Ghibli Museum is in Mitaka. But I think the Toho Studios is also, if I'm not wrong, Toho Studios is in Setagaya-ku, not so far from Futakotamagawa. You know if Ghibli Studios has a theme park? No, I don't think there's a Ghibli themed park. No. Did you ever hear the term fly gin? Yeah. I don't hear it often now, but after 2011 that word was used every once in a while. What's your favorite convenience store sandwich? The usual one I buy is actually either the mixed sandwich, which is like one slice of tuna, one slice, like it's like 3 sandwiches in one. So one is tuna, one is egg, and one is ham and lettuce, I think. Quite boring, but that's kind of my default sandwich. But sometimes some conveniences have like this slightly nicer sandwiches on whole grain bread. So sometimes I get that one. There's a pretty decent BLT sandwich that you can get, that I do get sometimes. Talking about your daughter, have you picked her citizenship? It will be both Swedish and Japanese. She can have both until she reaches a certain age. I think it's 20 or something like that. Maybe not exactly 20, but around 20. Then she has to pick one. So for now she will have both. Did they fly home because of the earthquake? Yeah, a lot of people got kind of very freaked out of the earthquake and the Fukushima disaster and everything that happened back in 2011. So a lot of people left back then. Some did so, some left in a pretty irresponsible way, like they didn't bother like canceling their apartment contracts or anything. They just left, and made themselves unavailable. So that's kind of where the term fly-gin comes from. Thank you, Gang. Tack så mycket. Tack så mycket. Another rural area in the future. Yeah, I plan to go to Jikecho again, which is an area I went to about a year ago on my channel. It's this it looks like you're in the countryside, but you're actually technically still in Yokohama. I plan to go there again and shoot a video there, because the last one I shot, or the last stream I did there, was very poor quality. And then I shot the 4K video, but it got really dark, and I shot that with the Osmo Pocket, which isn't great for low light. So yeah, I plan to go there again. But if you're talking about real countryside, I don't know. Right now I don't have any trips to the countryside in the pipeline, but again, me and my wife are talking about going on a little family vacation maybe next month, just like on a little weekend trip somewhere in the outskirts of the Tokyo region, or maybe some other city. So, and if that's the case, I will try to stream from there as well. So we'll see. 明日は歩けないと思います。明日はずっと雨だから多分散歩できないと思います。疲れてるではないですね。毎日歩いてるから、それはまあ問題ないですけど、雨だったらちょっと散歩が大変ですね。When will Japanese borders open for students and workers? Yeah, if I got 1 yen every time someone asked that question, I would have quite a few yen right now. I don't know. Like, no one knows when they will open the border, unfortunately. It's a very frustrating situation, and I know that a lot of you are waiting for Japan to open the borders. I also do that. I also hope they can open soon, because I really want my mom to come visit, but I have no idea, and I don't think anyone knows when they will open the borders. When the pandemic situation is under control, maybe. That's probably the only safe thing to say. Jenny, any plans for resuming the Aqueduct train line walk? Yes, of course, I will. It's just last couple of weeks and months have been a little bit busy, and it's been difficult to plan like whole day projects like that, but it will continue at some point, I promise. Does Tokyo have good kebab? Not as good as Sweden, unfortunately. Is this your first live? I've been doing lives almost every day for about a year now, so no, it's not my first live. Yeah, the mega walk, the Tamagawa Josu. It will continue. It's care of my daughter, and my wife's sister jumped in as a babysitter. So yeah, it's a bit difficult to plan right now with the baby, since I'm taking care of her a lot. But it will happen. Your mom likes Japan. Yes, she loves Japan. She's not so much of a shopper. I mean, she loves the souvenir shops in Asakusa. She loves those. But yeah, it's not the shopping that she loves about Japan. It's more like everything else. Ah, 今度世田谷馬事公園ですね。そうですね。馬事公園多分今入られないと思います。でもその周りもちょっと面白い道とかいろいろあるんですね。今度あの辺も散歩しましょう。Have you ever done meetups with your viewers before in Japan? No, never. I want to, but right now most of my viewers are not able to come to Japan. So, but as soon as travel resumes, I hope to do more like real life activities and tours and things like that. So yeah. Someone asking questions only using caps, which is not very nice. Also, please read the FAQ, which is linked in the video description, where I answer those kind of questions that everybody asks all the time, like where I'm from and so on. If I would like to see Ghibli studios open their own theme park, I don't know. In general, I don't like theme parks and those kind of, I don't know. I don't like that sort of ultra capitalistic things, really. I think I would only feel bad if Ghibli opened a theme park, to be honest. It wouldn't feel good if they did. I'm not personally interested in that. Ja, Gangang. Köp min merch. Gärna. Det vore snällt. Yeah, bombarding me with questions, but please keep them coming, for sure. I just want people to please read the FAQ in the video description, because it's not, people always ask the same questions every day, but at the same time, many of my viewers watch my streams all the time, so they don't want to hear me answer the same question for the 50th time, like where I'm from or what phone I'm using. So that's why there's a FAQ, and then if you have any follow-up questions on that, I'll be very happy to reply to those. How many Japanese viewers do you have? I don't know the exact number, but I think the second largest part of my viewership, statistically speaking, is from Japan. Then if those are Japanese people or if they're non-Japanese but living in Japan, I don't know. You know if Americans can get a degree for free in Sweden? I don't think so. I think only EU citizens can get a degree for free in Sweden. They're changing those things all the time. It used to be possible for anyone, but now I think it's only EU citizens. Have you ever been to other Asian countries? Yes, I've been to Singapore, Thailand, Hong Kong, Taiwan, China, and Korea. That's the other Asian countries I've been to. And I liked all of them in different ways. Especially really enjoyed Singapore. I've only been to Singapore once and would love to go there again. Thailand was so-so. I only went to Bangkok. I think I would enjoy the smaller cities more. Korea is always a lot of fun and one of my favorite countries in the world to go visit. And I love Korean food as well, and the people there are so much fun. So yeah. And China, I lived in Shanghai for about 6 months. That was over 10 years ago, but I didn't really like it that much. It was a little bit too chaotic for me. You love or hate onsens? I wouldn't say I hate them, but I don't really love them either. Like, I love when I'm able to have the whole bath for myself and it's a bath with a nice view. That I love. But I don't love being surrounded by other strangers, naked men, in a room with steam and fluorescent lights. That's then I rather prefer to, take a bath at home in my own bathtub. But I do love outdoor onsens, especially when they're private ones. I don't like being surrounded by other naked men. Yeah, all the shops, not all the shops, but most shops and restaurants close at 8 during this state of emergency. Have you visited and enjoyed Tokyo nightlife before? Yeah, before I met my wife, I was mostly very, very single, and I enjoyed going out and getting drunk and talk to strangers. So I had my fair share of that. I also used to do a little bit of DJing every once in a while at a bar in Shibuya, together with some friends. So I've had my fair share of the Tokyo nightlife, which was a lot of fun, but now I'm getting a bit old and tired of that. So I was like going out a lot from when I was 18 until I was 35. So that's 17 years when I was like going out, bar hopping a lot, drinking a lot, and doing all sorts of things associated with those kind of environments. But and yeah, it was a lot of fun. But now I'm very happy that I've kind of graduated from that lifestyle, and that I have a family, and that I have a daughter, and I enjoy going to bed before midnight and waking up at 7 in the morning to cook porridge for my wife and daughter. So yeah, I guess I'm getting old. That's what I'm trying to say. I did not play Base Hunter. I think I have a shared Spotify playlist to my Patreon supporters. Maybe I should post the link to that one again, and maybe I need to update it as well with some new songs. But sometimes people ask what music I listen to, and I felt that the easiest way to answer that question was to make a public playlist. So I have one which is exclusive to my Patreon supporters. So if you're interested, you can join me there. If you're already on Patreon and you can't find the playlist, please send me a message and I will make sure that you get the link. What are your thoughts on free tuition? Any downsides? No, I think it's great. I think everyone should be able to go to school and get a degree. It shouldn't be dependent on which socio-economic background you come from. So I think, to me it's a no-brainer. Was using Tinder a hassle as a foreigner? No, it was fun. I don't know how it could be a hassle. I think, no, it was pretty straightforward. Yeah. How's the cost of living in Tokyo? That's also one of the questions that people ask almost every day. But I would say it largely depends on your lifestyle. You can live for cheap in Tokyo. You can live cheaper in Tokyo than in Stockholm, and probably also compared to like New York or Paris or London. I think you can live cheaper in Tokyo and still have a relatively decent life here. But if you want like a high-end standard of living, then yeah, it will cost you. But again, that goes for everywhere. So, but when I was a student, when I was a language student here, I survived for a year on about 120,000 yen a month, which is $1,200 a month. That covered like, my rent, my public transportation, my food, my everything. It wasn't a glamorous life, but I had a lot of fun, and I went out and drank with my classmates quite often, and we often ate out, and it worked. Maybe it was a little bit more maybe more like 150,000 yen a month. I don't remember. It's such a long time ago. But you can really live for cheap in Tokyo. Do you have a ticket to go to the Olympics? No, I don't want to go to the Olympics. The only reason why I would go to Olympics would be if someone paid me to go there for shooting photos or something. But even then, I think I would probably turn it down because I'm very much against the Olympics. I think I finished my beer now, and I think I will end the stream and head back home. It's been, what, 2 hours almost. Okay, let's wait 4 more minutes, then we have a 2-hour stream. If you live cheaper, I think 200,000 yen per month is enough to survive. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, that's basically my point, that for relatively cheap you can still have a somewhat decent life here in Tokyo. With your own apartment, sure, it will be very small, but still you can still find your own place for cheap, rather than having to share, like in London or New York, where people often have to share an apartment and they pay way more for like a shared apartment than what you would pay for a small one-room single apartment here in Tokyo. And food is relatively cheap, drinks are cheap, public transportation is also quite reasonable, so yeah. But okay, 1.5 minutes less, more, then we will have passed the 2-hour mark. I think that will be nice. So let me do, maybe we can do a pan of the fancy buildings around here. Ooh. Still a bit of dramatic clouds in the sky. They actually look way brighter on the screen than with my eyes. But that's some serious light pollution going on. What's your favorite Japanese TV show? My favorite Japanese TV show is Sekai no Furaimachi, or what's it called in English? I don't know, but it's actually, they have like a walking video TV show on Japanese TV. Sekai no Furaimachi, it's called in Japanese. I think Nowhere Street or Everywhere Street or Somewhere Street, maybe the English title. I love that program, and that's basically kind of like my YouTube channel, but on Japanese TV, and they do it from all over the world. Not really walking tours, more like just randomly walking around and talking to strangers on the street in different countries of the world. Somewhere Street, yeah. I mean, I think most Japanese TV is really crap. Like 90% of the TV programs here are so bad. But there's a few, every now and then there's good documentaries, usually on NHK. And there's also some quite enjoyable travel shows, which are like, you know, riding a random bus line in the middle of nowhere in the Japanese countryside and looking for a sushi shop, like that kind of topic, or like kind of between game show and travel show. Those can be quite fun sometimes. So they do have some kind of creative concepts that I love. And can find quite inspiring. Now we passed the 2-hour mark, so let's end the stream. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Probably no stream tomorrow, probably no video tomorrow, but most likely stream on Saturday around noon, either around 11 or maybe afternoon, just like 1 or something like that, but yeah, around the time. Okay, thank you so much, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye. Hej då. Mata ne. Auf Wiedersehen.